Who's somebody you would make unfamous if you could? Future.
Catch Me Outside.
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Have you been in a coma for 5 years?
Bad Baby.
Yeah, but
No, she still exists.
I know, but like that's like we're in 2024. Get over
I know,
it.
but I still see her videos.
You don't fuck with them now.
What do you mean?
You don't like mess with her music. Gucci
Oh,
flip flop, fuck it, get your bitch.
No, like her, Whoa Vicky, all them. Like, I think it's even more annoying that they're still here. You know, usually those people, they kind of like come and go, and there's like, okay, we forgot about them, whatever, it happened. But the fact that they're still here and they're like,
But she dropped some hits.
I could do without.
Are you joking?
What are you talking about?
They were good songs.
The only good one was Catch Me Outside. How about that?
The song.
And she didn't even make it.
No,
It was like the
no.
remix that people made.
You didn't like Gucci flip flops? Wasn't that with featuring Lil Yachty?
I don't know.
And then what about the one that's like coming out hard like 88, make a bitch levitate, make baby cake.
All right. Well, we have a Bad Baby super fan
Stan.
over here. My bad. I didn't know that's what we were dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah. I just felt like that was a very like, that would have been a good answer to give 5 years ago.
And
Do you want to maybe, I don't know, have a new answer?
I just saw her on my feed the other day, and there's like, and you know how certain pages will be like, whoa, it'll say, whoa, or not whoa, Vicky, what's her name? Bad Baby speaks. And it's like, why are we like giving her the attention as if it's like, it's going to be really important what she says. Like, it's a politician.
Right.
I hate when it just says, even if it's somebody like Drake, for example, right? Sometimes there's pages that will post like Drake speaks, and it'll literally be him posting something on his story. And it's like, why? Like, relax. It's not, oh, groundbreaking news. This person has said something and it's, you know, super important.
Yeah, that's true. But sometimes I like when they do that. When they make like absolutely nobody famous.
Uh-huh.
Because those people shake things up. Okay? The Beyoncés are too famous to interact with the fans. But all of a sudden you got Whoa Vicky preaching the Bible. That's content.
I like a nice K.O. Martin. You know who that is? It's this kid. He's like a little kid. Like maybe like 10 years old or something.
Okay.
10 to 13, somewhere around there. And he lives in New York City. He's a pro skater. But he treats New York as his playground.
Okay.
He's going around skateboarding. He's knocking stuff over, pulling pranks. And he just says anything to anybody. But he's a kid, so he can kind of get away with it.
Got it.
But at the same time, it's like entertaining. It's like almost, it's like Jackass style.
But baby.
A kid, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not claiming to be like,
The coolest guy
Yeah.
or whatever. He's just doing it.
he's just having fun.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of like the whole, like the reason why I liked Vine and TikTok so much was I was like, these are the main platforms that we had where you could make anybody famous. And then you got regular people doing fancy shit.
Okay, good point. But the problem with Vine was that when you had people that got a little bit of like fame, then they started becoming this like idea of themselves.
Okay.
And it became like really annoying.
Like whom?
Like the Logan Pauls and those guys, like even what's his name?
But then you have their
King-
like regularness.
King Batch.
Like people who constantly fight their regular versus Cardi B. Cardi B does not know how to be famous, and it's so entertaining.
That's good because she's still herself. It's like when people are like, oh, I'm a Viner now. I'm a YouTuber now. So
Yeah.
I should act like a YouTuber.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened with certain people where they're like, oh, I'm an artist now. And this is how artists behave. Whereas you have certain people that are like, oh, I'm just out here. Like it's still me.
Yeah.
And those personalities are fun to keep up with because it's like this person is always themselves no matter what's going on.
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah.
I said Future.
Right. You wish Future wasn't famous.
Yeah, I do. Because I feel like we could do without. And there's a lot
Could Atlanta do without Future?
Yeah.
It
And there's too much inspiration to men being toxic.
Oh,
Yeah.
you think people look at Future and they're like, yeah, that's what we need to be.
I've had multiple experiences where guys will quote or refer to Future, either his lifestyle or his music, mostly his music, or quote a song
Yeah.
because they were hurt. You know?
Can I perhaps propose an idea?
Yeah.
It's just an idea.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just flirt with it a little bit.
Okay.
Right? Have a good time. Check it out. Is maybe Meg Thee Stallion or a Cardi B making certain songs?
No, because
that girls are like, that's me. That's how we're gonna.
none of
That's how we're
those
gonna behave.
songs are telling us to cheat on the man, have like, you know, like Future's
they're not
very
telling you-
intentional
they're
with
not-
his
A
like,
Cardi B song
fuckery.
is not telling you to rob the man after drugging him and sleeping with him.
What song was that?
There's songs that Cardi B has that.
No, she was talking about her own life and what she did. I didn't say that Cardi B was an inspiration. I said she was funny as fuck. There's a huge difference.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be you.
Yeah.
But perhaps do some people listen to the likes of a Meg, a City Girl?
The difference is
a
that's woman
Sweetie.
empowerment.
Oh, that's empowerment.
Yeah, because men were already having babies on their wives and having secret families for generations, centuries, you know,
Why are you talking like that?
because I wanted to make emphasis.
So this is a revenge tour.
And then they were like, yo, these guys are going to treat us like shit anyway. So
we
let's
should-
capitalize. Let's marry rich. And then they were like, women are gold diggers. Well, do you even have gold for us to dig? Because the people who are worried about gold diggers are usually the ones that have no gold.
Yeah.
So if anything, I would look at this as this. There's a reason why you call Megan Thee Stallion lyrics megalations.
What? You can't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah, I can. I think that if you
There's a reason why you say Future lyrics are sensational.
they're not. I think that we would have like men are already instinctually like that.
I'm not vouching for Future, by the way.
No, I know.
I think that
You
there's a
just have
time
to
and
right
place.
now.
I think that there's a time and place to listen to Future, in the same way that there's a time and place to listen to any of those other
I
artists.
wish I looked up the craziest Future lines.
Yeah,
Like for example, SZA.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
It's insanity. The type of lyrics that exist that sometimes you're like, is that what I just said?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whereas, like, for example, people were mad that SZA was like, oh, SZA's like glorifying being a side chick. No, she's glorifying dealing with being a side chick. You know what I'm saying?
No.
She's
Glorifying dealing.
like, like, cool, be a side chick. No, she's like, I'm a side chick and this is a situation I'm in. So you take him Wednesday, Thursday, then to send him my way. Like, I got him for the weekend. We're babysitting.
Oh,
This is custody.
she's so thoughtful.
Yeah,
That
like
SZA.
fuck. I tripped and fell into being a side chick. Welp, I'm here. Now what? And I think
I
we just need
understand.
to be mindful of that.
You know who, before they're even famous, doesn't need to be famous?
Who?
Strange Flavors.
Why? Why are you so anti us? Anti our growth?
Because if we were to surpass this level right here at 1%, where, we went from 0 to 1. Some people go from 0 to 100.
Okay.
Went from 0 to 1.
Yeah.
So if we were to get to, say, I don't know, like a 3, climbing up there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Do you think we'd be canceled real
Let alone
quick?
20. I mean, think about it. all of these podcasts that exist, all the things that we've said on here, just picked apart under a microscope, and then we'd be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, because to be honest, any conversation that we've had on the podcast, like I sometimes can't remember.
Yeah. And
I don't know why.
yeah.
You'll be telling me about a thing that we had a full blown conversation on the podcast, and I'm like, when?
Yeah.
I disassociate here. Mm-hmm. And then to be held accountable for my disassociation.
Yeah.
I don't even know her.
These conversations aren't supposed to be recorded.
Yeah, no.
And the thing that we do is we record them. and then we post them.
And then we go on the Patreon and then do it 10 times worse.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're not on the Patreon, make sure you join the Patreon and hear all of this material before we get canceled and thrown out of here.
Yep.
Anyways, welcome back to the Strangest and Greatest podcast.
In the game.
In the game, my name is Unfamous for Us.
My name is Amicably Amber.
What? Sorry?
One thing about me is I cannot speak, and we have a podcast. So
What were you trying to say?
Amicably Amber. I don't know why.
And what does this word mean?
Like
You thought that you were going to drop multi-syllables and then I'm not going to ask you if you know the definition?
I know the definition. I just don't
You
know.
thought I was going to be like, I didn't know I was sitting next to an honor student. Honor students don't pick up microphones and yap away to the world.
Yeah. Amicable means
Okay. She just sign language that she doesn't know what she's talking about.
No. If you're watching the podcast, it means
If you're la.
that's amicable.
Okay.
Okay.
Good work.
Thanks.
So here we are. We're back at it. We're actually on the 199th episode,
Oh my God, what are we gonna do
which
first?
is crazy. Next week, there's a little surprise. We might not be in the same setting.
So then what's the surprise? Why did you say it all in one sentence?
Oh, was that the surprise?
What other surprise do we have so much in store.
We're constantly like changing everything about this podcast, so everything's a surprise.
Yeah.
Like the 132nd episode was a surprise as much as the next episode, which is going to be episode 200, will be a surprise. You know what? We'll think of some stuff and we'll it'll be a good time.
I think you said 132nd.
Yeah. It was a joke, as if like any episode could be a surprise. Be amicable, Amber.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, the 1% fame that we have from some people, and they leave generous comments like this. It says, "Babe, wake up! New Strange Flavors just dropped."
I don't think
Slay.
I don't think we've ever had a better comment than that.
Yeah, I like that comment.
A lot.
And this one says, "Bros, Shamir, like not coming back." That's exactly what's happening. Have you not been here for the past few episodes? At least for the summer.
Yeah, but the funny thing is the same person commented on the episode where we had a full explanation of how long Shamir was leaving for and when he'd be back. And then he acts surprised on every episode that Shamir's not there.
You know what? 200th episode, we're flying Shamir back.
We'll fly out to him.
Oh,
That
sounds expensive.
It does. He got the equipment.
Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll have a whole
Surprise, Shamir.
appearance.
Just save some room on the floor for us, Shamir.
Okay, here's one from Instagram. It says, "Next episode, you guys should talk about Firas's beard. I noticed he started growing it out, and marriage. If you want to get married, is there family pressure, thoughts, or on arranged marriages in Pakistani culture?" So interesting fact.
Beard.
Sometimes in our culture, men start to grow beards
Right.
when they get married to show that they are taken.
Wait, are you going to do it?
So I'm gonna answer two questions at once.
You're married. You're telling them that? You're letting them know now?
I think that it's appropriate. That
Right.
for the 199th Strange Flavors episode, I say that I am married to the game.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure if we went back like 100 episodes, you said the same thing.
I'm still married to the. No, this is the game for the weekends. You know, stereotype.
So it's a type beat.
Game 2.
Type shit.
Game 1 didn't work out. I'm on to game 2. Sometimes you gotta, you know what I mean? Like sometimes the game doesn't work anymore. You gotta blow on it, put it back in. You never did this before? You never blew on a game cartridge?
And then put it back in.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it works.
Okay. Listen, let's talk about your beard.
What do you want to know about the beard?
First of all, I've been telling you to grow that shit out.
Okay, there it is. Credit goes to Amber.
No. That's the thing, is that the credit does not go to me because you did not grow that out on my
didn't-
account.
I didn't want to flex so hard on anybody. You know what I mean?
And you've always had the little dots
The stubble
to represent that you were capable.
of the fullness.
Yes. And you knew your capability and you were not living your truth, your fullest. And you were like, oh, I don't want to be, doing the shaping up and the this and that. It's too much work. And
Can I tell you something?
yeah.
Before I knew that it could be grown, I believed that it could be grown. And that's what it takes, to be honest. I'll be very honest with you. They didn't believe in me, Amber.
Nobody doubted you. You had the dots.
They didn't think, no, they'd be like, oh, like, he doesn't grow the beard. Maybe he can't.
No.
You know what I mean?
It was very much a choice, and I think that was apparent.
No, but I could sense it. People were like, yo, like, everyone's got beards. Like, he's the only one that doesn't. I wonder what the deal is. Maybe he has a deficiency or something like that. And then I was like, you know what? I'll show you deficiency.
Interesting.
But you know what I'm saying? Like when I was born, right? When I came out, I was like, I can grow a beard.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. When I came out, I was like, if there's one thing I can do, I could grow a beard.
Right. You thought that immediately, like born beard.
I was like, I can grow a mane and a beard. Those are two things I knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So then why'd you wait till you're 30?
They were like, shade is here. A lion
Thank you.
for the
Yeah.
non-Urdu speakers.
Okay. Enough with the bullshit. Why did you actually grow it out? And it's so nice. Like literally, like my sister-in-laws are like, and this is not to hype you up because you're not shit.
Hype me up.
No. But one thing about you is if I was to come at you and we were fighting and we were arguing, there's a lot of things I could say about you. Not really, but like we're going to go with it. One thing I could not say about you is that you don't have a beard. Is that you can't grow a beard.
That it
you
don't
have
connect.
That it don't connect. It do connect.
The thing is that connect dots.
It do connect.
Remember how I used to have dots? That's what you said?
Yeah.
The thing about me is I'll connect some dots.
Right.
No, I just I never grew it out before, so I was like, let me try this out for a little while, and things got a little bit low key. When you go low key a little bit, you're like beard era. For women, they grow like I don't know, like a massive bush. I don't know. I don't know what it is for women. Do they go bald?
No, they
Britney
like,
Spears.
they dye hair.
Oh, they die. That's what. Oh, so you've been in this era since you were
15.
15. I see.
My hair's not dyed though.
You're just naturally
I'm just
that color?
naturally Beyonce colored
Right.
hair.
Okay. We can just accept false realities.
Okay,
That's
so
cool too.
do you want to talk about marriage?
No. Do you want to talk about marriage?
No. Should we just? Do you want to get married? Yes or no?
Of course. I mean, that's like a. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same. But I'd want to be a mom more. Is there family pressure?
Ooh, I feel that. Is there family
No.
pressure? No.
Thoughts on arranged marriage and Pakistani culture?
Arranged marriage plus.
If it works for you, I love it. That was-
Sometimes too many options You ever go to the grocery store and you were there for one thing and you're like, but there's also 20 other things. And then you start reading labels and then you start considering like, oh, this one has this ingredient. Should that other one have that ingredient? And now you don't know what you're looking for anymore. And then you just drop it all and you're like, you know what? I am not hungry anymore.
Right.
If you can hear that, Amber's cat is being severely abused because
she's just really old. So she
yapping
has these
is
fits.
more important than catting.
The thing is, she's really old. So she has a couple of sessions a day. She's like 17. And so she'll have a couple sessions a day where she just kind of does that. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. But she's being like, she's eating the most expensive food, living a lavish life, like being brushed out. Like she is well pampered for. Just know that.
Just needs attention.
Yeah. I'll have you one up though.
Were you talking about yourself or the cat?
And so
I'm just clarifying.
the cat.
Right.
Meow. So there's, you know how like on Hinge, sometimes you'll get like a couple of cute options in a row. You're like, I don't need any of these because the next one might be cuter. You know what I'm saying? Like you have
Wait, what?
No, like you could have like
Why are
a
you
bunch of
saying
matches.
that as if I just agreed with it?
But like a bunch
That's
of
what
matches.
you're doing?
No, but like you have like 50 matches and they're all attractive. And you're like, whatever, I don't need to give any of these time of day. But then you go to a party. Right? And
Okay.
then you're like, okay, cool. Everybody cool. And then there's like one guy where you're like, whoa, that one's nice. That one's really nice. And then all of a sudden he gets all the attention. But that's because, well, this doesn't connect at all. Never mind.
No. Continue with it. I'm listening.
I just feel
I'm
like
not-
like when you like in the idea of
You
having too
shared
many
it
options.
as if it's like a similar experience, and from the beginning it wasn't. But now I want to hear
Okay.
the rest of this. Okay, so cool guy at the party.
Yeah.
Everyone wants him.
No,
and
not
now you want
everybody.
him
I don't
too?
know what everybody else wants,
Okay,
but I know what I want.
is that
That.
because like when you go on Amazon, it's like this has 20 ratings, whereas that one has like 50,000 ratings, and everyone seems to agree that that is wanted. So I
1,000
want
people
that
bought
too.
that this month. You know, I'm just kidding. That's gross. No, but the idea was that like you have too many options on Hinge. You're like, I don't need any of these. But then at a party, there's only a group of like 20 people. This one person all of a sudden has a lot of value. I don't know if that related.
Yeah, arranged marriages don't happen at parties.
They could. I think arranged marriage is like a lot of things, and it's not. It is like arranged marriage can also be like your friends being like, "Yo, I have a friend."
Like a blind date.
That a blind date is an arranged marriage.
All right. What are you talking about?
Because what do your parents do?
They're not.
Putting you on a blind date.
You know what? You're on to something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what that is. That's
And-
No,
oh,
you're
hey,
right.
for
You're
us,
right.
I
You're
have
right.
a friend for you,
yeah.
and you get married to her. That's an arranged marriage. I arranged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're
Okay.
getting arranged marriages more than you think.
Right. Because when people say arranged marriage, they think that it's just the like super traditional style of like, for example, the grandmother in your village is like, you are going to get married to her.
They think that the
And then it's
grandma's
like,
like in
boom.
a room with incense on, eyes closed, yoga pose, crystal ball.
I see.
And this person is going to be your match.
Yeah.
And then they do that. No, it's like, hey, I think you could swing it with this dude.
Yeah.
And then go see if it works.
But even in like some of our parents' generation, like a lot of them, they kind of like met and stuff, made sure the vibe is there, the families. It was more about families
Yeah.
then. It still kind of is, but like that was a really important part. And it was the best value for anybody was to go into a family that is good.
Are your parents or anybody you know in those Versanti group chats?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they put you in one?
I'm not in any.
No, but did they put you in one?
Oh, like my profile or something? No, I've
or
never.
like your bio data?
No, they get stuff though. Like they'll but it's like my dad, my mom hasn't, but my dad will sometimes mention like, oh, like this thing came in and like these are the details and stuff. And I'll like look at him for a second and then I'll be like, this doesn't match my like
Vibe
criteria at all. No, like not mine. I'm saying like what they're looking for doesn't even match anything about me. So I'm like, what's the point? Why are you even saying this?
Oh, they were
And
like, I want a doctor who
exactly
is
6 foot above. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not me. And he believes in negotiation. So he's like, no, like this seems like a good person. Like we'll negotiate.
But imagine being negotiated into marriage. And then
Which-
you guys get in an argument. She's like, and that's why I wanted a 6 foot, not your short ass.
She's looking down at me.
And she's like, and I wanted a
Steps on
doctor.
me.
You're over here fucking on your computer and shit. And she's
Yeah.
like, if it wasn't for your dad's good negotiation skills, I would be with a doctor on a yacht. You know?
Yeah.
And the problem is I could be negotiated. So that's why I really cannot be involved.
But the thing about, I believe that I can negotiate
Yourself.
for myself. Like I can vouch for myself.
Okay.
And, but that is something that I would want to do.
But do
For
you want
somebody
to
that
negotiate?
I think that like when you go after somebody that like you actually want, then it's like you'll compromise. You'll do things that
Yeah.
you'll try to make your way into their heart, right? And so that takes vouching for yourself. That takes bettering yourself. That if you're doing things because you're like, oh my God, this person inspires me to better myself in any capacity, right? Physically, a lot of people like they see that as a first sign. It's like I want to get in good shape so that my partner is fulfilled. Mentally, I want to be in a mentally healthy space so that they understand that I am emotionally mature and all of this stuff, and that I understand their emotions. Spiritually, they make me want to get closer to my faith.
Yeah.
And because it's like I want to do things the right way. Like if you're looking at those things, bro, you're in love.
Yeah. My problem is I don't know the difference between being love and sprung. Like all of a sudden, all my like non-negotiables go out the door because I'm like, but he's hot.
Exactly. So that's it. It's like if it's like just a physical thing where you're like, I just want to smooch faces with you or something, then you're probably if you're not if you're not like, oh, you make me want to get closer to God.
Yeah.
I just want to get close to you. Then you're probably like, this is probably not a healthy, because you're just excited. But think about it in the long run. If
I don't
that
think
goes
most
away,
people are going into these relationships being like, yeah, you make me want to get closer to God. It's more like we're gonna have kids, and I'm really gonna need God.
yeah.
Not.
I mean,
know?
that's an aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to carry on your values to
yeah,
your
but
kids.
also I'm gonna need the strength to get through this life.
As in, I better be attracted to you.
No, I need God's strength
Yeah.
on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that initial physical attraction phase, like, and especially the excitement of all of that, like, eventually, that's going to, if there's days where that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it doesn't, because there's couples that I know very well that are like, it's still fresh. It's still like they keep things like they're still very much like, cute about it and stuff. And that's awesome.
Have
if
you
you're
ever
able to
been
keep that
like?
alive.
Have you ever convinced yourself to like somebody because you're like, I don't find you immediately attractive, and I didn't, but now you're so attractive to me because of what I know about you.
So it's tough because when you're trying to be careful of not being that person that's like, oh, it's just a physical attraction. Like this could be dangerous. This could be toxic because I don't know what their values are.
Yeah.
And then you become somebody who's like, oh, I should be logic based.
Yeah.
It should check all these boxes.
Yeah.
And then you're focusing on only the logic part of things. Then sometimes you forget about like oh, should I also be like attracted or
Yeah.
like should I have feelings where I'm just like
I want to jump your bones type shit.
jump your bones?
Yeah, that's a saying. It's a saying. Where you-
Jump your bones?
Yeah. To like, that's a saying for us. It is. I don't know how to explain this one away.
That sounds dirty.
Well,
Is it
yeah,
dirty?
It's kind of dirty, yeah. But it's
But
like,
why'd you say it like that? Like, I want to jump your bones.
well, because it's not like super sexual. It's more like you just like want to like be with that person
I'm sorry, I've never heard this
physically.
before.
Okay, it's a saying.
I
If
feel
you're-
like if somebody was like, I want to jump your bones, I'd be like, want to cover my face and
it's
hide.
not something that you would say to somebody directly. It's more of like how I said it. It's like you're like, oh, you want to be with somebody who like makes you want to like, oh, he just makes me want to jump his bones. You know what I'm saying? Like
Jump his bones?
it's not that weird. It's more like
Sounds very
oh
weird.
my god, now I have to Google
No,
it.
don't Google it.
Jump
It's fine.
your bones meaning. There we go. It says it basically means
You're
to
just
want
skipping over
to
all the real
lust,
meanings.
yeah, to like lustfully want someone.
Lustfully.
Yeah.
Right.
But wait, we had a thought here.
It was
Oh no, but my point was, have you ever been like moderately attracted to someone or not that attracted to someone, but actually convince yourself that somebody actually is attractive because of how like great they are?
like settling.
It's not. I don't think that's settling. I think there's beauty in like falling in love with somebody's soul,
Oh yeah.
you know? And it's like your attraction comes second, or my attraction to you, like my physical attraction to you came with time because I fell in love with your soul.
Yeah, that's a huge problem when you're especially like a very when you're an artist and you romanticize a lot of things, you fall in love with a lot of souls. It's not even just about like somebody you see as your partner.
Yeah.
It's about friends, and you overwhelmingly believe in people.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, wow, what a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
And like, so that's a difficult thing because then you are willing to adapt to anything because you think that you're supposed to, because this version that you've created is like, oh, this is supposed to be right.
Right. Anyways, good talk.
I like how earlier on we were like, you want to talk about marriage? No. And now we're talking about like souls.
But that's like every conversation I've had with you. It's like we take it to the deepest extent for what? It's always fun though.
Yeah.
What's next? What do we overanalyze next?
What we overanalyze next is why I don't have the charger on the laptop and how this was supposed to be. This was about to be completely blown out
Oh no.
and gone, but we fixed the issue.
Nice. We
That's-
won't overanalyze that one though.
That's what we do here. When guys introduce other guys, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, "Yo, it's the legend.
Yeah.
Yo, the GOAT. My guy. You got to meet him. Yo, this guy's so funny."
Right.
Have you ever seen this?
I have. In fact, I think every interaction of any person you've ever introduced me to goes like that.
Okay, I try to be specific about why they are a certain way. I'll immediately drop like a story that maybe even makes them uncomfortable. Be
fun
like, why are
fact.
you sharing this with somebody I don't even know yet?
Fair.
But I want to sell them immediately.
Yeah.
Right? It's like when your parents have people over and they're like, show them your dance. And it's like, wait, I don't even know who this is.
That's literally how you present all of your friendships.
And that's like, and then now you're dancing in front of the guests and they're clapping and they're like, great. This is going to be a shining star.
Right.
Very good. And then your parents like, and he's an honor student. And it's like, whoa, why is my whole resume out here? But then now they have an idea of you because you would have never said anything.
Yeah. Like one of our friends went to Harvard and it's like impossible for me to introduce her to anybody without being like, she went to Harvard.
If you say that this person is from Harvard, that kind of says 60% of who they are.
Yeah.
I just made that number up. But the point is that
It
is
feels
more
right, though.
helpful than just being like, yo, the legend.
Right.
This guy's funny. So recently, there's this guy who has, he works at this taco shop. It's at this halal taco shop. tacos and empanadas, and we really liked the place. And he was kind of gatekeeping it. And I was like, I saw him later at the mosque, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Like, how are you? I saw you the other day at the place." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, like keep it down on the low." I was like, "Why? You
Yeah.
should be telling everybody here. You should be sending out flyers. What are you talking about? Like, put people on. We barely have any halal joints around us. This is one of them. Put people on." And then he looks at his friend next to him, who I don't know. He goes, "Yo, they're not even that good. Ask this guy." And
He said that, and he said to ask you.
no, he pointed at his friend. He was telling me that the tacos aren't even that good. Ask this guy, pointing to his friend.
Okay.
And that was one of those moments where I have had enough of those types of introductions. And I was like, just pissed off.
Okay.
I was like, and I know what he was doing. It was just like a normal interaction for him, right? And then I was just like, what is his credibility?
Oh, yes.
Because you know how sometimes like you have the time and you're like, I want to go there.
Frost,
this
you are
time.
the definition of, we got time today.
We got time today. Like, let me dissect. And he was like, whoa, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was like, he has the same haircut as you and your other friends here. You guys have the same build. I don't know any of you. Why would you point to him and ask me to ask him without any credibility? What is his merit to judge these tacos? Why would I believe him? And then he goes, and the guy's like, yeah, I think they're okay. And he was like kind of scared. And I was being very sarcastic.
Yeah.
I was thinking a very
Like,
joking
what
way.
is your, like, are you rated on Yelp?
Exactly.
Like state your credibility now.
What are the other taco places you have tried?
Did you try them all over the
Have you
United States?
been
Are you
there
a taco
multiple times?
connoisseur?
Are you a yes man, or are you a true friend who gives them real kind of advice?
Do you have an Instagram page dedicated to trying tacos in your town?
Do you have, halal places in Baltimore, social media handles locked down?
Exactly.
Are you over there doing food reviews in the car with the owner?
Yeah. Are you making TikToks? Are you Keith Lee?
Are you Keith Lee or not?
Or not?
Or like, are you a parody of him? State who you are, what you're about, your entire experience with food
Yeah.
through your 20 years of life.
Yeah. No, but the
19
funny thing is
probably.
it's not just about food with you, Frost. This one time we were doing this show and somebody came up to Frost and they were like, yeah, bro, hit me up. Like, I'm a manager. And Frost was like, oh, nice. What do you manage?
Yeah.
And he was like, people, things, stuff. He's like, what people?
Yeah.
What things?
Yeah.
And what stuff?
Tell me.
And he was like, like on the weekends. And he's like, for who? For
Yeah.
what? And this conversation went on for 45 minutes of us being like, tell me your credibility. And then he eventually started being like, I actually don't manage people. And I
was like, why did you say that?
And he was like, so then why did you tell me
Yeah.
that to hit you up for what?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I just am a fan, bro.
And I would have been 1,000% okay. Maybe I would have started asking, when did you start watching?
Yeah.
No, but like I'm literally doing like it's half of me is doing a bit.
Yeah. That but the other
and
person doesn't know
also
about.
If I have one person to entertain next to me,
Yeah.
this is all for them.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing I'll do, it's entertain my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the entire loss of a reputation
Yeah.
for that moment, but then I'll be cool with them afterwards.
Yeah.
But half of that is me doing a bit, and then half of me is I'm so curious.
serious.
I wouldn't say serious. I would say curious. I'm like, let's explore this today. Today I will get my answer of, because that conversation about the manager thing, right?
Yeah.
How many other times have people came up and said, yo, bro, let's connect?
Right. And
Right?
you're like, for what?
What are we connect? Because before I exchange my and do this whole thing,
Yeah.
we do this thing, right?
Yeah.
If it's your first time doing that thing, then it's like, oh, cool. It's like we're networking. I did my first network. When you do it enough times, you're like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are you gonna offer?
Am I going to do all the editing, the writing, and then you're just going to have your little cameo and pop off to your friends?
It's not even about that. It's like do you, instead of having that conversation where we're like, yeah, hit me up, let's follow, like, let's do this thing where it's like, right now, what can we do together? Who are you?
You're like when Casey Neistat's like, don't come up to me and tell me you have an idea about the app. Come up to me and tell me about the app that you created.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm not even trying to be like a dick or anything. Mm-hmm. It's just like, let's save time.
yeah, that conversation, it was like after a show. It was like an hour away. All of us are like laid out on all the couches and they're like, oh, why aren't we leaving? I was like, Frost is doing his thing. Frost is doing his Frost thing. It's going to take a little while. Just get comfortable. And then eventually I was like, hey, does somebody want to nudge him? Like, it's been enough. Like, and the guy is sweating. The guy is so regretful of his actions. He was to never speak of being a manager ever again. He was like admitting, he was like, I'm not a manager. I think it would be cool to be one. I said it because I wanted to connect, and I wanted to connect because I thought you were cool. Like, so, like completely broke down him completely. And it was,
listen, man, if you're listening out there, I know you're not, but if someone like you is listening out there, sometimes you just have experiences where you get let down by a lot of people, or you get thrown into situations where you're like used.
What
right?
a rugged artist, so misunderstood, overused, and underappreciated. Damn.
Anyways, to the guy who said that the tacos were all right, sorry. I had some time that day.
Yeah. And also,
It was fun.
your taste buds weren't reliable.
I had a blast exploring that. It's just a fun idea.
Yeah, I do like that.
Okay, you go.
Okay, what's on here?
Crocs.
Okay. So have you seen this thing online about, like, first of all, do you like Crocs?
Kind of.
Are you a Croc person? Also,
I started hating them after the price went crazy. They used to be under $20. Now, do you know how much they are?
Like 60?
Yeah. Like 50 to 60.
Okay.
Unless you go to Ollie's.
Really?
Do you know Ollie's?
I'm aware of Ollie's.
Guess the price. Guess the price, Amber.
I don't know. I feel like everything's 25% of the price on Ollie.
Guess the price. We know you said $60 for Crocs. Guess the price at Ollie's. Go ahead.
Okay. 1985.
No.
Let's one more.
If I say no and I'm this enthusiastic.
$15.
No.
$9.99.
No.
$2.50.
$3.99.
You're lying.
$3.99.
Are they real?
You could pull out a $5 bill, Amber. Take it to Ollie's and get yourself a pair of Crocs and change.
Why is there not TikToks about this?
I'm putting you guys on right now, and I've already slid a pair, so I'm not worried about everyone running into Ollie's and them jacking the price. But Ollie's got good prices.
Wow.
They've got entire camo suits.
Oh.
You know what a camo suit is?
Yeah, like for hunting?
For hunting and stuff?
Yeah.
How much do you think that would cost?
$300.
Like, you go to Dick's, you go to Outdoor Sports World.
Yeah.
It's like $500 or something crazy. It's like, oh, no. Like, people who do this, like, you know. It's like
Camo.
skiing or snowboarding. It's like, the first time you ever go, you're like, oh.
I have to pay
equipment is this much?
$300 for my snowsuit and goggles and hat and
Camo suits at Ollie's? $20.
no.
Come on.
I'm gonna start hunting.
Come on.
That's crazy. I would do it for a photo shoot. Okay.
Back to you.
Yes. Okay. I have slowly become a Croc fan. Okay.
Okay.
And not just like the brand Croc, but the product material.
Okay.
Fan of the material. And as I get older, my body really appreciates comfort.
Like the nurses who wear them.
Yes. So I
nursing
bought
favorite.
these cloud slippers. You might see them on the podcast on the floor. I bought these cloud slippers off of Amazon, and they are a godsend because I have hardwood floor around my house. I walk around in them. I cook in them. It takes so much off my joints, right? So I ended up successfully having like these really soft Croc-like shoes, okay? And then probably like a month ago, I was on TikTok and I saw that people's Crocs were shrinking in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Like you leave out a Croc and it shrinks.
Wait, but that happens to a lot of shoes.
What do you mean it happens to a lot of shoes?
That just happened with like these Nike slippers that we have.
But that material shrinks like a lot. Like,
Yeah, okay. Like the foam.
Yeah. Right. So I ended up liking my slippers so much, I ordered another pair.
Okay.
And these ones were dedicated to being like for the gym, for my pool gym shoes to go to and from
Leisure.
the gym. Like after I take off my like running shoes, my athletic shoes, I have a pair of slippers to put on.
Yeah,
to
you're
go
like
to-
you're like an NBA athlete.
Yes.
Or even just a high school basketball player.
So I was over the weekend, I left the gym and I left my shoes in the car. I was like, these are my gym shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They belong in the car with the rest of my gym stuff. Okay. And so I left both of them in the car, both one pair, 2 individual shoes, 1 pair in the car. And I came back and I took the shoes with me to the gym like 2 days later, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I go and I put them on and they don't fit anymore. These were one size too big for me when I bought them.
Okay.
I put them
They
on.
shrunk in the car.
They don't fit anymore. Not only that, they were both in the same place. I sent you a picture. Open it up.
This one, the one I just shared, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Share this. Look at the right one versus the left one.
Yeah, it's about a size smaller, I would say.
It's so these went from a size 9 because my sister-in-law is a size 7. These fit her now. They went from a size 9 to a size 7.
Is there
And-
any way to regrow them?
So I was looking into it. Apparently you can like freeze and try to get it, but once they're shrunk, they're shrunk.
No. You know those foam things that you put in the water? Like it's like a pill?
Yeah.
You put in the water and then it grows into like a Pokemon or something? Mm-hmm. That's what you got to do with these.
You think so?
Water, if it absorbs enough water, then it'll expand.
But then when it either it'll mold because it's absorbed the water for so long,
Yeah.
or it would just dry out and go back to the
I
same
thought
size.
heat expands things.
Well, yes, except you have to expand that thing when it's heated. You get what I'm saying?
You have to expand that thing once it's heated.
Yeah, like when it's already hot, then you have to expand it. You can't heat it and then like not mess with it and expect it to expand. You know what I'm talking about? Give me an example of something that expands with heat.
Like your fingers.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Your fingers don't expand in the heat.
Yes, they do.
Like they get taller?
No, they get thicker. Like, have you ever put on a
They
ring?
They swell.
Yeah. When
yeah,
you
but
put on
that's
a ring,
body. I'm talking about like item. Like for example, like glass.
things
Okay.
things in the wash. When it's cold water, they shrink
No, Frost.
a little bit.
No, hot water shrinks clothes.
It does.
Yeah, and then that's why you're not supposed. They're supposed to wash them cold.
Okay.
Anyways, I just wanted to say that I'm a huge I was about to invest in Crocs because and did you see there's like cute Crocs now?
Like the ones that they copied off Yeezy foam runners and stuff.
No, I'm talking about sandals.
Yeah, they have a few different ones.
Sandal Crocs. And this experience, I was like, what the fuck? So I walked around in the gym looking like an idiot because they hit above my arch.
What are you talking about?
My shoes I just told you about.
Oh, because they were too small.
Yeah, because they shrunk that much. So if anybody has an idea of how to expand these again, let me know. But
There must be a way.
there must be a way. And I'd be willing to try it. It's just right now I was supposed to take these to Pakistan. These would have been fitting my baby 7-month-old niece by the time I took them to Pakistan.
Oh, a great
If they
Pakistan
shrink-
gift. All of your hand-me-downs.
Just shrink them and give them away.
Just put everything in the suitcase of like, I don't need this anymore, and then just take it to Pakistan.
And it'll shrink on the way there.
Gift it. Yeah, it'll shrink even further.
Good point.
Keep it shrinking. It's like the SpongeBob boots.
Yeah. But then I saw these TikToks of people being like, oh, my like 7-year-old daughter grew out her Crocs. Now I'm going to boil it and make it into a keychain.
What?
Or I'm going to leave it in the sun and make it into a keychain. And people are doing that.
It gets that small?
They get small. They get really small. I sent you a video. I sent you a
Whoa.
TikTok. Look at it.
They get that small that you can turn them into a keychain?
Yeah, look.
Whoa.
Y'all, the sun shrunk one of my son's Crocs. It looks so damn goofy. It's supposed to be a size 5 LMAO.
Crocs footwear is not your ordinary shoe. It's primarily crafted from a closed-cell resin known as Croslite, which means the gas is trapped within isolated pockets, securely enclosed by the solid material.
Okay, she looks like a cartoon scientist.
Yeah, she does. I actually didn't watch that far into the video.
I don't believe anything that you're saying right now, ma'am, sir. I don't know what you are.
That wasn't supposed to be. Well, she has a neon sign.
This looks like Chemical Kim. Okay, Kim. Kim, I'm
And the
sorry. You look
YouTube
like the most cartoon ass scientist I've ever seen in my life.
But I don't think you can talk because you kind of look like a cartoon too with all the hair.
What?
Yeah, like the other day you were driving up to my house and you looked out the window and I was like, this is the most like cartoon.
You think I look like a cartoon?
Nowadays, yeah.
Why? But I'm not claiming to be any. I'm not like,
It's
I'm
not
a,
about what you're claiming to be. You just look like a cartoon. Like
What the heck? You never told me I look like a cartoon?
Like literally a cartoon.
Why didn't
sometimes.
you ever tell me I look like a cartoon?
I was going to tell you earlier when I'm talking about the beard discussion, but we moved on, and this was a good opportunity to bring it up because now you're calling her a cartoon, but you are pointing at yourself.
You never told me I look like a cartoon.
It's okay. It's not like a bad thing per se.
It's the beard?
It's together.
Yeah.
Together, all of it blends.
You think I look like a joke?
No, you don't look like a joke.
But cartoons are funny.
I would take that cartoon a little serious.
What cartoon? Like Adult Swim?
No, I was thinking more
Like an anime? Like a cool anime?
you know how like there's
Like a cool anime maybe?
there's like a Disney animation movie like the Tarzan, but then they make the shorts and they're a little bit less quality. So it's like the SpongeBob, but it doesn't look like SpongeBob.
SpongeBob? You think I look like SpongeBob?
I don't think you look like SpongeBob per se.
You think I look like this?
It's just
I can't believe I look like this.
listen, you don't look like SpongeBob, but like sometimes you together looking at you, I'm like,
You think I look SpongeBob?
I just don't think you look like a real person sometimes. Like, you know, I think you should understand what I'm trying to say.
I don't.
Like
I don't even understand what you're saying. I can't believe you think I look like a cartoon.
but it's not like in a bad way.
You don't believe that I'm real.
It's hard to, but I do.
I feel like Pinocchio right now.
It's just like,
I just want to be a real boy.
yeah, but you're not.
I just want to be a real boy. What am I?
You're just like all of it together sometimes.
I'm 2D?
It's a little bit 2D.
I can't believe I'm 2D.
And
I
then-
should have made fun of this scientist, Chemical Kim. I'm sorry, Chemical Kim. I didn't mean to call you a scientist-ass cartoon because you look like one.
Yeah.
Look how big your glasses are. And now I can't believe I'm that. Look at the buck teeth on her.
Yeah.
It's so cartoony.
Sometimes
I don't have buck teeth. I got braces.
Yeah, but like remember when you looked not like this? Like you had less muscles and like you chose not to have a beard.
What?
You look like a real person. And now with like your beard and your
Why
hair.
are you talking about my muscles?
Well, you have them now. You didn't have them before.
I don't even know if you're calling me cool or
You're a cool cartoon.
but you said
That doesn't-
SpongeBob. You said
No, no, I
you
was
said
gonna-
a worse version of Tarzan.
No, but Tarzan is a cool character.
And I even gave you
not
like
worse version, just a 2D version.
I even gave you two ideas twice. It was anime. Something
Like-
cool anime. Like you didn't even say one of those cool anime
Anime would be a
characters.
little too realistic for you. I'm thinking. Okay, think Tarzan. Think Tarzan.
I don't want to think this anymore. I can't believe you think I look
like sometimes you give off this. you give off, but like sometimes you give off. Sometimes you give off.
Kid Tarzan.
Sometimes, but like
You think
now,
I look like baby Tarzan? He doesn't even have a
specifically
beard.
this picture.
He doesn't even have a beard.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shave my beard. I'm gonna cut my hair, and I'll come in looking like normal.
A real
I'll look
boy.
like a normal person that does not look any different from anybody else.
No,
and
it's okay. There's nothing wrong
I'll
with
put my
looking
hair
like
to the
cartoon.
side. I'll do a nice part. I'll come in with a dress shirt.
Uh-huh.
And then I will come in and we will discuss serious topics.
That sounds so boring. Please be a cartoon.
I can't believe you think I'm a cartoon.
I just don't think
This is the worst thing.
I wouldn't have said this, but you're over here calling her a cartoon. But you need to look in the mirror, buddy.
Now I'm going to. There's a mirror right behind me. I can't believe this. I can't believe I look like.
Do you
a cartoon.
understand now? Over here with your freaking Mario socks, matching shirt with your.
You got me these socks. You made me a cartoon. You added this, and you manifested me having a beard.
I did.
You turned me into a cartoon.
You're welcome.
You put me in this room with the pink walls.
Mm-hmm.
How is any of this real?
I mean, I'm not.
We're talking to people who can't even talk back to us right now.
Well, they can if they're on the Patreon. I respond to all the comments.
I know, but
Sorry.
we're living in a fictional world right now.
It's okay. Next.
Wow. Oh.
Okay.
We're gonna have to take like
We're
the
doing
rest
really
of this
bad
to
transitions.
We're like
and next topic.
next.
And what's next? Your turn. Your turn.
Yeah, we might have to take the rest of this to the. We'll see. But something funny happened the other day. I saw. Do you know the greeters that are at the
Walmart?
like Walmart or like certain stores that they're usually like the big
Sam's Club, Costco.
yeah, like the big warehouse places, right? So I
Yeah.
was at Restaurant Depot and we get like a lot of halal meat from there and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And they have people that check your receipts on the way out. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that, and like they greet and whatever, right? And I noticed that it was a little person. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
That's a
little
appropriate?
person. Mm-hmm.
They had a little person. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that it was a child. And once I was done my shopping,
Yeah.
I went over and the little person was coming over to me. And I had this, long receipt. And I was like, oh no, like, hey, bud, I'm going to hand it to the adult. Is that okay?
You said that?
Yeah.
You said, hey, bud, I'm going to give this to the adult
Yeah.
for Ross.
And then she was like,
I am the adult.
she was like, oh, I'm checking them. And it was like a woman.
For us. Sorry.
But then I realized that they're bringing this tradition from Pakistan over to the States.
This is true.
I'm so glad that you understand.
This is so true.
Now, in certain countries, this doesn't translate to America or the West, right? Like some people aren't going to understand this.
Yeah.
But in certain countries, like stereotypes are very like novelty, and they're very much like, oh,
Emphasized and celebrated.
like if you're gonna have a Chinese restaurant, there should be like Chinese people.
Right.
Not because they own the place. They don't.
Yeah.
But for the authenticity or the
Right.
look of it.
Yes.
Now, one of the things that they do in Pakistan, for some reason, is they put little people in the front of restaurants to greet people.
Yeah, as like a tourist attraction.
And what people do is they take pictures with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
And it's like you tell your kid like, oh, dekho, like chota banda hai. Like, oh, like, and like low key. I went to like, they would be like the greeters to the entrances of hotels.
Yep.
And like they were like celebrated, and like my mom would be like, oh, like deco, and it was like not at all a thing where you were like talking shit or anything. It's just like in America you would teach your kid to be like, pretend like that
They're
doesn't
normal,
exist. Yes.
that they're like just like you.
Don't treat them any differently.
Yeah.
In Pakistan, it would almost be like insulting because you're like, this is exciting. We get to see a little person.
It gives very much like circus, as in like this person was born this way, and we are going to put them on a pedestal and give them a job where they can shine in that way.
Right.
I'm not saying that this is what we agree with or whatever, or what's right or wrong. It's just the way that it's presented.
What's the right term for a khusra? We had on the,
A trans person?
no, but like
A cross-dresser?
no, in Urdu.
Hijra?
Hijra, is that the right word?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's the same thing with them. Is like they are very much like, oh, that is hijra. We say the other word. We're not progressed yet there. And then we get like excited, and they're also like, oh, like baji, like aap bahut pyari lag rahi ho, like Allah ka naam mein mujhe 200 rupees de do. You know what I'm saying? Like they are really excited because you're really excited, and they're also put on a pedestal for being trans. Like it's not like you're seeing trans people in like Pakistan and you're supposed to ignore it. Like they want to be noticed.
People will call them specifically, like relatives of my own dad.
Yeah.
To dance at weddings.
Yeah, and they love it.
And
as far as we know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's why I'm saying it's such a weird transition to like try to explain it in America, because imagine if you see like a little person and you're like, "Hey, do you want to be a greeter at my store or something?" They'd be like, "Why?" Like that's all I'm good for. Or if you were to look at a trans person and be like, "Hey, do you want to come dance at my wedding?" How crazy is that?
Yeah. Well, I guess there is like drag shows.
There is, but like you wouldn't assume that everybody is made for that.
Right. Not every trans person would be that.
Yeah.
But in Pakistan,
everybody is basically that.
Is basically that.
And that's what they want to do. That's what they like. Actually, I'm not going to speak for that.
Yeah, but that's what it seems like they would like to do, because they also are like so fun. Like you'll be shopping.
Also, that's like those certain positions are almost carved out for those individuals.
Yeah.
So it's like guaranteed that you get, you know, an income and a source of purpose. Maybe. Again, I don't know the entire thing, but
celebrated to
that's
not
how
be
we grew up.
Underappreciated. And so, like, for example, like in a very Muslim country, you'd assume that a trans person wouldn't be very protected, where it's like a Muslim and like very cultural, whatever. But we have high protection for the hijras in our communities because we're like, those are our people.
But that also doesn't mean that they're not
them.
like targeted,
for
abused,
sure.
all that stuff. But the government, as far as like the government goes, Pakistan is one of those countries that actually has a spot to put in like, for example, man, woman, trans, or however it's translated. But they've had that because they acknowledge
that they exist. Yeah.
I just thought that it's an interesting thing, but like that's what I thought of through my experience.
You're like, this
like,
wouldn't typically.
I was like, oh.
In Pakistan, I'd get it.
I was like, oh, they're doing what they do in Pakistan here.
Did they say anything back to you?
She was cool about it.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I would have like had to laugh to myself afterwards for being an idiot, but it was a funny moment.
It was a funny moment. I'm sorry you dealt with that. I'm sorry to her.
I'm not sorry I dealt with it. I thought it was awesome. You don't think it's funny? It's so funny. I like awkward experiences.
Like, okay, fair enough.
I like stuff like that. And I'll ask people questions. I think that like, I'm not going to do it in a way that it's like, you know, trying to be ignorant or arrogant about anything. But if I'm genuinely experiencing something for the first time and I haven't, like, I don't mind being an idiot and like for curiosity, just exploring. If they get offended or whatever, I'll be like, okay, how would you like me to ask this? This is, can you educate me type thing?
Right.
Because I'm not like telling you what you are or not.
Yeah. In line with this bad line of transitioning, what's next?
You're next.
Okay.
We're going back and forth. Mouth taping?
Oh, okay. Do you ever like find yourself on TikTok and then you realize that everything you're doing in life is wrong? Like,
sometimes, yeah.
Like everything that I am doing. No, but I don't mean just that. It's like, okay, like, oh, like get enough protein, but also like get sunlight, but make sure you're wearing sunscreen.
Yeah.
When you're doing it, but there's 2 options, chemical or mineral.
Yeah.
You have to use the right one, or else there could be like long-term damaging effects.
And then the next TikTok explains why that entire thinking is wrong.
Right. Or like, for example, it's like you should work out, but your workout split shouldn't be like all lifting. It should include cardio, but then you lose flexibility unless you do yoga. But if you do yoga by itself, like you won't get the definition that you need. So then you have to add Pilates, but then if you add Pilates, you could still be fat because you need cardio. And then like,
and someone's like, you don't have to do any of that. Walking is the best exercise. Just do that every day for this amount of time.
I have changed identities so many times based off of new information that I learned. And I try it all. And then I figure it out. But I try it all. I tried all the time because
you
I'm
haven't
like,
changed identities. You're experimenting on your body so constantly. That you're like, what is right for me?
Right.
Who am I?
Yeah. Oh, and then they're like, everything you're consuming has plastic. And like, I don't know if you saw, like, watermelons are plastic now. Like, have you seen these all fruits are rubbery right now? You saw that?
I've heard that like certain things, the way that you consume, if you've been consuming it this amount of time, you have this much microplastics in you.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, I guess they're there.
Yeah. But then I'm also like, they say like all the foods that we eat are bad, right? Mm-hmm. But like, why is the life expectancy so high?
Well, it's just because we're taking care of ourselves in other ways also.
Right. But I just feel like every single time I open TikTok, I'm like, am I breathing right?
Yeah.
Am I sleeping right?
Yeah.
The other day I realized I'm sleeping wrong.
Why?
Have you heard of mouth taping?
Oh.
Apparently, if you tape your mouth shut at night, you will have the most health benefits. Not only will you have less bags under your eyes because there's more oxygen going to your brain through your nose, and your nose is closer to your brain than your mouth. Mm-hmm. You're also getting better quality of sleep. You're also getting a much sharper jawline. I sent you a TikTok of like the drastic effects of
this closed cell environment.
Not the cartoon.
Yeah, no, this other one. It says you started taping your mouth 2 weeks ago. You saw that?
So her jawline changed completely.
Yeah. And I saw like millions of these on my For You page of like just jaw lines changing because you're taping your mouth. So then I started thinking about it. I was like, if I'm doing what everybody said that I'm supposed to be doing, right? That means every night, in order to prevent getting wrinkles, I would wash my face, put on retinoid. Okay. Then I'd make sure that I slug. I put Aquaphor underneath my eyes and make sure that they're covering all those things. Then I'd put on maybe frownies to prevent wrinkles. Okay.
Your entire life would be self-care.
Right.
And you would mentally destroy yourself.
Right.
And physically, you would be wrecked because that is more important than anything that you could physically do to not stress your body out.
But this is what people are doing right now. They're calling it the morning shed.
Can I tell you something?
They wake up in the morning, they take off their mouth tape, they take out their under eye patches. Heat is bad for your hair. So they had their hair in heatless curls all night, wrapped in a silk bonnet.
Yes.
And like slugged up. And then when you wake up and you wash your face, don't you dare forget your sunscreen, because all the things that you did last night to prevent your wrinkles could be ruined if you don't wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
And then it's not just your face, it's your neck, it's your hands. It doesn't end.
I saw this, right? Mm-hmm. And I entertain a lot of self-care stuff, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what will I learn today? Maybe I can like slowly incorporate into my routine, and maybe it's good for me. Maybe I can do something better. Once I saw that there was ads that I saw, right? Mm-hmm. A guy with tape on his mouth sleeping next to his partner. I was like, this is something that I don't care what it does for me. I don't care if it adds 20 years to my life. I will not be doing this.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because when you have done enough of these things, I think maybe in your like mid 20s, you
do all
start
of
to
it.
go down this rabbit hole of like, oh, am I getting older? Should I be doing this? Is my body going to be like, okay? Like people say there's preventative care and I'm not always going to look like this. So like, should I start doing that? And you start getting, you know, like your finances grow and things like that. And you're like, oh, you can afford to buy certain supplements and, you know, you have a certain like work routine. So then around that, you have to kind of like, you might as well do certain other things. So then you start paying attention to self-care and products and you try things and you hear what your friends are doing and your body is changing. And so you experiment, you explore. And then comes a point where I think like certain people will like hyper focus on these things. It's like, oh, I should be doing everything right. Right. You might be somebody like that. I'm certainly somebody like that. And so I go through the ringer quicker than, you know, people might have been doing things for years. And because I'm such a good procrastinator, I can do all of that in a much condensed fashion.
Yeah.
And run those trials up.
Right.
And then when you do that enough, you pause for a second and you're like, what is the quality of my life? What is this doing to my happiness and everything else? And if you've read enough, if you've watched enough, you kind of start hearing and seeing the same things.
Yeah.
A lot of it is repetitive and a lot of the lessons are the same. The main things are number 1, sleep.
Yeah.
Number 2, diet. Number 3, exercise.
Yeah.
If you do those things like that, you could do any sort of like combination of whatever mask and supplement, whatever you want. If those 3 things you have nailed, you're elite. You're above most people. But if those other things are affecting your ability to sleep, the stuff that you're consuming, whole foods and things like that, and being happy when you eat, or your exercise and like you're tired or whatever else, like you're not getting quality.
Yeah, that's true. Because like I feel like I'll go on TikTok and it'll be like, are you taking vitamin B12? Oh, also, did you consider L-theanine? Also, L-glutamine.
Yeah.
Also, lion's mane.
Right.
Also, vitamin C. Also, Flintstones has it all. Don't worry about any of those things.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, how many things can I take in the morning?
Here's what you have to
There's
do, though.
things that do stick, though.
Yeah.
You try it all. Like
Of
right
course.
now, like collagen, I could say collagen works for me.
There we go.
Collagen works. I'm going to keep taking that.
For you.
For me.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Some people might not need it.
That's what I'm saying. Get your blood work done. Talk to your doctor. Look at your charts. Learn to read your charts. You can see what you're deficient in, what you're doing really well in. And then are you doing those main things properly? And you'll be solid. You'll feel better. You'll look better. And the thing about me is like, I want to see how far it really goes. So I'll consume like, there's a guy named Brian Johnson. I've told you about him before, but he's the man that wants to live forever.
Oh,
He
right.
believes in living forever. So he is the person who is doing everything you could possibly do to take care of de-aging, right? That means that he takes like hundreds of pills every day. He is a billionaire, so he has the top tools in his house and scientists to study him every single day. He is the most data searched person in the world that has ever existed.
Whoa.
So he has everything
Brian
down.
Johnson?
Yeah. And you should watch his stuff. It's called the Blueprint Method.
Yeah.
He eats a certain thing every single day. He has his timings nailed down perfectly. But he himself says that I'm not doing this because I think that everyone should do it. I'm doing it for science. And I want you to take from this what you are able and see how it's affected me so that you can implement certain things in your life that you can afford to do when it comes to mentally afford to do or financially afford to do, and implement those things.
Yeah. Is he jacked?
Yeah, I think he's like in his 50s, but he actually like his biological age is that of like a 18-year-old in certain parts of his
How
body.
long has he been doing it for?
It's been a couple of years. And he said that he was at a stage that he was totally depressed and suicidal.
Okay.
And then now he even has a social life. He feels much better about himself than he has ever felt, even though he has kind of like the same routine. And he travels and he does all this stuff. But if you like see what he's saying and the point of it, like people will easily just kind of like dismiss it and be like who would want to do that and whatever else. It's the lesson you pull from it and how much you can apply to yourself for a quality life. If there's certain things that you like, if there's certain lifestyle that you like living, and then on top of that, you can improve little things to allow you to be happier as you're living that lifestyle and more stable, more consistent, then that stuff is healthy for you. Like you said, something works for you. Like there's a million things that people will talk about and advertise that they're making claim for. And sometimes the case is that the people that they get for those advertisements, they have the best of that thing naturally. Like growing up, even now, like sometimes people will ask me about certain things. What do you do for your skin or hair or whatever else, right? And for the longest time,
If you were on the cover of like a beard oil,
right,
it would obviously sell, but it's not giving an accurate representation because
I don't do
you're
anything to it.
genetically
Yeah.
already there. Like obviously, could you do things that maybe could help? Maybe, sure.
Yeah.
But that's not going
But
to
I'm
give
not
the
go-
person who doesn't have a beard, who isn't connecting and then wants to have a beard, that's giving the wrong thing.
I'm not the fair person to put on a beard growing advertisement.
Right.
And that's what people look at a lot of times, whether it be celebrities or like people who are naturally kind of, when you're advertising, you look for people who already have a nice, if you're doing like, let's say like
I mean, I work at a med spa, and like sometimes when we're looking for individuals to promote the product on, and it's like an anti-aging skin treatment, we're not going to use the ladies that are older in the office to do it. We're going to use the pretty lady in the office who already kind of has tight skin.
Yeah.
And then, yes, it does improve. It's not that it doesn't work, but we're not going to try to sell you based off of somebody that you're already not trying to perhaps want as your end result. You know what I'm saying?
if you're trying to sell glasses, they'll often use people who have nice eyes. If you want to sell pants, a nice butt. If you want to sell a watch, a nice manly hand.
Right.
Like people pick these things on like advertisement is such a like, down to super specific science thing that we have to check ourselves. And now on TikTok, we have to understand that like the people that are sometimes saying these things, like they might already have something that works for them, that they already kind of genetically had or whatever. Sometimes it's great tips. You
Yeah.
should try it. You should see if it works, as long as it's not like something crazy. But overall, I think a lot of people relate to what you're saying. I've been down that path. I think sometimes I still go down and I'm like, should I be doing it this way?
Yeah. Needless to say, I'll be trying mouth taping.
No! Are you really?
I don't know. I just want to try it for a week just to say I did it. I have this thing about me where I'm like, I want to say I did it and I tried it. And I know for a fact it either helps or it doesn't help. Right. And like, I have to try everything. Like, for example, I don't have like the best gut health naturally. Right. I'm doing the Whole30. It's helping me drastically because I tried it. But I also have tried a lot of other things that absolutely did not work. And it either made it worse or not really much of a difference or temporarily worked. And I'm like, that's why I feel like whoa, was that in the microphone too? I just feel like I need to try things just to make sure that
Fair.
it's not a thing.
Fair.
Because I would rather do this than be like 50 and be like, damn, I should have been mouth taping at 29.
I guess so. I think that part of it is also that like if nothing's wrong, you don't have to like fix it. But if you feel like this would help you with something, if you're trying to get a better jawline, I don't know if this is gonna do it.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like
Apparently, I talked to a plastic surgeon just because I work with him, not because I was trying to seek advice. He genuinely just gave me the advice.
BBL Amber.
Not that.
BBL Amber.
And he was like, you know what would be really good if you got a chin implant.
What?
And that would balance out your face really well. And I was like, I did not come for you to give me this feedback. Now I feel like my chin
Now you're
is
insecure.
regressed.
He's gonna make you into the Crimson Chin.
He's just like, yeah, if you had like, you know, a chin implant, it would like look really good. He goes, also,
So your chin would be bigger?
yeah, my chin would be bigger.
Let me see your chin.
Apparently, it's supposed to be out further in order to give you,
Supposed to be.
like, in terms of like beauty, like societal beauty standards,
Whose?
general. And then he also goes, also, like, if you're thinking about it, because I get a lot of like discounts and they offer me free services and stuff because I do stuff for them. And he was like, also, I think it'd be good if like, he was like, you have a great body. I think like I wouldn't touch a thing on your body. Maybe just like we'll put a little bit of implants in your boobs. And I think you'll be really well balanced out to match your butt. And I was
What was
like,
your reaction?
I was like, I didn't ask for that. Genuinely, I'm not touching my tits. I don't
No,
want
but the
implants.
fact that he's like, yeah, I wouldn't do anything to your body except like you should do this.
like, because he's saying it from like what he has learned, right? Like, what is balance?
Well,
And-
you did ask him for one thing,
right.
and then you gave him kind of like
I told him I wanted to do a skin
you
treatment.
kind of opened the door.
because I wanted to make my jawline sharper. And he goes, I don't think you need to do that. I think you just need to get a chin implant and some tits, and I think you'll be good. I'm like, I want to do a skin treatment. You just told me you need 2 plastic surgeries.
You should have started like looking at him and like, I feel like you could work on your calves a little bit, shoulders are a little bit hunched. You
Well,
got a little
plastic
bit of
surgeons are always like a little
tech
bit
neck
like
going.
older, you know?
Does he have stuff done?
No. Actually, I think most plastic surgeons get Botox done.
Okay.
I don't think he has Botox though, but I do think that I think Joe Biden has a lot of Botox. he does. Okay.
He has a completely different mask that he puts on, I think.
Do
you
you
ever
see
seen his
how
mask
tight his
slipping?
forehead is? Have you noticed that for his age, how tight his forehead is?
Yeah, I've seen those pictures where it looks like he has like another face behind his face.
Be so for real.
I'm serious. You've never seen those?
I haven't seen those.
People will post those and be like, yo, another mask slip. I'm serious.
I know you're joking.
I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yeah, you want to see a mask
Yeah,
slip?
I do.
I'll show you.
What are you talking
It
about?
might be the Botox that makes it look like that, but people are very much like, yo, like another
yeah,
mask
let me try to
slip.
analyze a little bit.
Okay.
Joe Biden mask
Joe
slip.
Biden mask slip. And it's not just for Joe Biden. This exists for Hillary Clinton. This exists for like a bunch of people. Oh yeah, this was the one.
Okay.
They were saying that
it's
his face
very
is coming
clear
off.
what's happening here.
What's happening?
His chin like is a little bit stronger, and so his double chin is basically hanging out underneath his chin.
Viral tweets baselessly claim Biden as a body double.
Yeah, it's just his double chin hanging out from under his real chin,
Oh, under his real chin?
like under his structural chin.
Yeah, but look, the mask is melting.
But do you see how tight that forehead
His
is?
face is made out of the Crocs material.
Look. He's even squinting in that picture. Go
Which one?
to the left.
This
One more. That one. Do you see how he's squinting? And for his age, he should look. We'll have the same amount. I have Botox too in my forehead, so I think it should be similar. You see that? Mm-hmm. For his age, it should be like very prominent.
Yeah, his chin is looking a little stronger than yours, though.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways,
Okay, do you guys think Amber should get a new chin?
and tits apparently to match my body. He was like, "I think you're perfect. I just think pair of tits and chin implant."
I'll get some if you get some.
Tits?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with tits?
I think that'd be fun.
That's
It'd be a good time.
definitely add to the cartoon of it all.
Then if I ever get pulled over, just like, hey, officer.
They're
was
gonna
I-
love to put you in front of a restaurant in Pakistan
Was
at
I
that point.
speeding? Oh, come on. That's crazy. All right, let's take the rest of this to the Patreon because we're having too much fun.
Way
and
too much
we
fun.
know that when we're having too much fun, it's time to take it to the Patreon
Where it gets crazier.
where we're a little bit safer to be reckless.
it's safer for us to say whatever we want.
Whatever.
we want.
Okay.
Okay.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for listening. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.